So students, welcome to the third semester of second year. Today we are going to see introduction part of the subject Market Study 2. First of all, the purpose of introducing professional practice is to provide opportunity to students to undergo activities which will enable them to develop confidence. Now, how you are going to develop confidence, students? Like for example, as you will visit more places, you discover your skills. You develop confidence to communicate with different people. That is, how to behave socially. You will gradually develop the skill as you will visit more places. Right, students? If you want to purchase any product for yourself, what you do? You visit market and choose the product. Then you will communicate with the vendor about the product. With this communication, you will develop confidence to visit different places and communicate with different persons. This subject intends students to understand professional and practical aspects of interior design through market survey, case studies, and site visit related to course of interior design. Now, how you are going to develop this aspect? In our professional practice, we need to conduct a regular site visit to market for gathering information about newly introduced material in market, their current market rate, available sizes and thicknesses, variety, colors, application details, etc. Where we can use the material also. For example, we cannot use plywood for exterior of a house because it cannot withstand in months. So, students, we should identify where we can use that particular material. Is it okay to use it at outdoors or not? It is only for indoor application, etc. All these kinds of answers we can get it through the market surveys. So, it is very important aspect of our study to do a market survey before starting any interior design project. You get a clear idea about what material you are going to use for a particular project, and with the help of this you get an overall idea of total budget. Yes, budget required for that particular project. You also get an idea about what to use. That is, for example, if your budget is going out of the expected cost that your client has specified, then you can change the material accordingly, and thus you can control your budget. This process will develop your practical knowledge which is required for your professional practice. Right, student? This all information will help you for your professional practice, because in your professional practice, if you're handling any project, you need to do a market survey at that point. So, practical knowledge is very important part of our professional practice. Budget calculation is also an important part of our professional practice. If you know the project, you can easily do a complete interior project, because client needs to know what is the total budget of this project, and if he can afford that, then he will continue the project. So it is very important part that you should know all the rates of the material, and with the help of the market survey you will get all the rates of the material, and you can easily calculate the budget of the project with the help of the market survey report you have gained from the market. And you can easily get the total overall budget by calculating each and every material that is required for your interior design project. By calculating all the materials all together, you get the overall budget of the project, and you can tell approximate cost of the budget to the client. So students, you got the idea why market study is required for this professional practice. It is very important part of our professional practice. So you need to study that. Okay? Now, while studying the subject, you will be able to do what? You will develop the ability to relate the theoretical knowledge acquired during the lectures to practical activities. You should always relate whatever theoretical knowledge acquired during the lectures to the practical market study or site visit or activity, whatever activity you do. Okay. For example, if you have learned wood as a material or any particular material in lecture, you should relate all those properties of wood or any material to actual available material in market. You should relate the property of a particular material, theoretical property, to practical material properties. Okay? Then you should develop generic skills in teamwork, making decision, communicating and collaborating. You should always learn how to do a teamwork, because if you learn this, you will be able to do the teamwork in your professional practice as well. Yes, students, it is very important part of the professional practice. You will be able to handle interior projects. You will be able to make decisions, communicate and collaborate with different people. With the help of this market survey teamwork, you will gain the generic skills. You will make a decision and you will collaborate with different people. Then you will gain first-hand experience in aspect of workshops, market surveys, case studies and site visits related to interior design profession. As you do more market surveys, more case studies, you get more experience. Okay? Then you will develop observational and analytical skills. Obviously, as you visit market, you will observe all the materials. You will observe their properties, etc. So, you will develop, obviously, you will develop observational and analytical skills. You will analyze the material. You will ask questions to the vendors. Then after asking questions, you will analyze the material. Therefore, you will develop observational and analytical skills. Okay. Then you will develop communication and presentation skill. Yes, students. As you communicate with different people, you will get the idea how to deal with different kind of people and how to get right information from them. Yes, you will gain the skills to get the right information from right person. You should be always presentable while visiting any shop. Why? Why, students? As people get impressed by your first impression, which will help you to get desirable information from the people. If you visit in a casual wear, then nobody will entertain you. Yes, students? So, presentation is very important part of any process. Okay. So, after visiting 2-3 marketplaces, you will develop your presentation and communication skills. Then you will also develop your professional ethics and code of conduct. After developing communication skills, you will also develop professional ethics and code of conduct. That is essential. Now, student, we will see what are the steps to conduct a proper market survey. First of all, you should set a clear goal. Start by setting a clear objective when starting your market research and survey. Like for example, ask questions. Why are you doing the survey? That is, what is the purpose for the survey? Then next, what do you want to find out? For that, list down the information you want to collect about a particular material so that you will not miss out any point. Otherwise, you will have to again visit the market for the missing information, right? And what will we do? We will waste our time. So, for not wasting our time, you should always list what do you want to find out exactly, right? Then next, what is your budget for it? Yes, budget is a very important part of market study. You should always know your budget. Client has a fixed budget in his mind, and according to that, we need to prepare estimate and specifications. According to that specifications, you know what kind of material suits your budget. So, accordingly, you can search the material. So, for that, you should be clear about the budget of the material. So, student, be precise about the outcome you are seeking in order to get the answers you need to for your study. Okay? So, second point is to know what target market to survey. It starts with knowing which market you are targeting. You should know what material you are searching for, and you should know where you can get it. Then identify parameters for potential such as people living or working in a certain region and market size. You should always know the particular region and what is the market size. Next, use regional data to attain precise information about the target material whose data you need and narrow it down to support your ultimate goal. See, regional data will help you out to get precise information For example, if you are searching for veneer, you will get n number of shops in market. So, we don't have much time to visit each and every shop. So what will we do? We will have to depend on the regional data about veneer. For that purpose, we can narrow down our search and visit the particular shops according to precise information we got from regional data, which will save our time and energy. Then next, you may just want to gather information from people living in a certain area. You can also get this information from known people which reside in that particular marketplace. With the help of this, you can target the market for survey. Okay? Then the third point is you should know what you want to investigate. Know what the competitor companies, specification and their rate for a particular material which you are going to investigate. Like for example, if I take plywood, there are n number of companies which are selling plywood. So what I should do? I should know the competitor companies and I should list down all the companies and their specification. I should make a comparative chart, and according to the budget of my project, I will get the right information like which type of company is suitable for my budget. So in the market, there are n number of companies, so I can narrow it down my search and I can search for only that company material, okay, which will save my further time. Knowing what you want to investigate will help you identify what sort of information you need. Think about whether a qualitative or quantitative approach works best. You should always know what you want to investigate. Okay? Then next, whichever you choose, the aim is the same: to qualify your perceptions, behavior, and attitude in the most informative way possible. Okay, students? Then get the help from the people who know the survey. It's always better to know the people who have already done the survey. You will get the necessary information by turning to the experts in the market survey data. You can ensure you ask the right questions to the right person and get information that gives you the most accurate answer. If somebody has already done the survey, then he must be having a accurate knowledge about that particular material. So, students, he is the right person to ask questions for your market survey, right? Then consider the best way to get your answers. Market surveys can also be carried out in groups. Yes, if you do market survey in group, then you will need to learn how to communicate in group or an individual basis. Once again, the optimum approach for your material will depend on your goals and the information you are trying to capture, as well as your target material, market potential, and their overall preferences. If you want to gather in-depth information from shopkeepers of materials, then face-to-face interviews in the market area might work well, allowing yourself to do the hard work and ask follow-up questions that dig a little deeper. You should ask many questions when you are interviewing a particular shopkeeper. Because of n number of questions, you will get the right information you wanted from them. Using quantitative panel data to back up this, market researchers can come away with powerful insights and market analysis you can trust. Okay? Then administer the survey effectively. You should be clear about your goals, the data you need, the people you need to talk to, and the best way to gather this survey data. You should be always clear about all the information you are searching for. This means reaching people at the right time, setting a realistic time frame for them to share their thoughts, and identify where they are likely to be. Okay? Identify your target person you are physically interacting with. You should always target a person. While communicating with any person, if I will visit any shop, I will identify the person who know the right information about that particular material. So I will start interacting with that person only. So you should identify the person who has the right information. If it's an online survey, understand which social media platform or website they are likely to hang out on and at what times they tend to be online. You should know all these details. Data analysis ahead of the survey can help make the survey easier to reach the right information. Okay, students? Conduct a thorough survey analysis. Once you have gathered the market survey information, this needs to be analyzed thoroughly to pull out the key trends, findings, and to follow you to draw actionable insights from the data. Examine qualitative answers for telling codes and details feedback about attitudes and behaviors. Interrogate qualitative and quantitative answers to calculate averages. Then compare results against global and local data with large-scale market surveys. If you want to do a large-scale market survey, you should compare the global as well as local data available. Uncover the wider implications. Conducting a market survey is invaluable to brands, but when carried out in isolation, you can lack the real-world relevancy to action results with confidence. To get more from your analysis, large-scale market survey data allows you to compare your findings across multiple data points. You can cross-reference with local subgroups and compare against all averages to see clearly where the value truly lies. So students, that's all for today's session. We will meet in the next session. of Market Survey 2